Tim. Welcome to WatchYouWant.com. Thanks for logging on. Today, we're looking at the Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean 600-meter Coaxial chronometer. Now, this one's actually by special request from our YouTube channel viewer, EAL15. So, EAL, if you're out there, I hope you enjoy this. Now, this is a watch we just received in, and it's representative of the latest Seamaster Planet Ocean 600-meter reference. Now, it's significant for two reasons. First of all, it's the largest case size, 45.5 millimeters, and second, because it contains all of the latest standards, including ceramic bezel and the silicon hairspring Omega exclusive caliber 8500 movement. Now, this watch presents in excellent condition with a full set, but the real hooks to this watch are in the incredible feature content that you get for the money in Omega's latest Seamaster. Now, there are a couple of different Seamasters out there. The line's really expanded since the 90s from just the professional line, also known as, the Bond Seamaster from the late 90s. The Aquaterras joined in the early 2000s, and in 2005 the Planet Oceans joined the lineup. And they really have two defining traits. First, they allowed Omega to work with bigger, bulkier, more technical case sizes, stuff more akin to, say, a Rolex Sea-Dweller, Deepsea. They also brought back heritage design references for those who recall the great Omega dive watches of the mid to late 50s through the 1960s and early 70s. And this watch really recalls, I would say, some of the earliest Omega Seamaster Professional references from about 1957 with the original Seamaster Professional through about 62, 64, incorporating the broad arrow hands of the first two professional references with what's known as the, more than any other, the 166024 dial that features the Arabic numerals at 12, 9, and 6 with a date. This watch is really a combination of those watches all mishmashed together in a modern package. So great heritage styling references and fantastic modern technology and execution. I would say overall this watch is defined by its movement. Omega's caliber 8500 is in-house exclusive to Omega and features all the modern standards that you would expect from the Swatch Group's technology capability. Now, first and foremost, there is a silicon hairspring, highly resistant to temperature variation, highly resistant to shock. One of the outstanding traits of this watch is, despite the 600 meter, that's roughly 2,000 foot dive rating, the watch does have a display caseback, which is very unusual in the ultra deep diver segment. So you can admire that beautiful caliber 8500. It's full balance bridge that is anchored on both sides. You can see it's anchored here with a little screw. It's anchored here with a little screw. Much more shock resistant than a one-sided balanced cock that just cantilevers outward. So not only do you have the insulating effect of that silicon hairspring, but you compound that with the full balance bridge. Very hardy, very tough. The 8500 features a unique, almost arabesque Côte de Soleil that radiates out from the middle of the winding rotor, and it also features Omega's twin barrel technology. So with the two barrels running in parallel, you actually get between 60 and 65 hours of power reserve. Now, the iPhone, as usual, makes my life a little bit tougher, but this is a level of finish and detailing that you will not get if you pop the case back on a Rolex movement or a Breitling. The fact that Omega does this and then makes it visible, I feel adds a lot of value and conversation value to this watch. Nicely done, Omega. Moreover, it is the Coaxial Escapement, so that's an Omega exclusive. It's their signature. Since '99, they've been working on the technology, and watchmakers tell me that the 8500 and its chronograph equivalent, the 9300, are really the calibers in which Omega just nailed it. Durability, ruggedness in the field, long-lasting stability, accurate timing, low maintenance requirements, it's all here. Omega has finally perfected this technology, and they've done it while adding a long power reserve, that unique silicon hairspring, a beautifully finished movement, and a tremendously tough total engineering job. This is a fantastic watch, the caliber 8500 Omega exclusive. It is built by ETA on a special assembly line within their Grenchen facility, but no other Swatch brand other than Omega will get this movement, and that's a great thing for those of you looking to buy a Seamaster Planet Ocean. Now, beyond the aesthetic, which is kind of retro modern, and the movement, which is thoroughly modern, you get a watch that gives you a lot of functionality. With 600 meters of water resistance, no human being will ever approach the limits of this watch, and that's great because having too much is a great thing. A luxury watch is kind of like a Ferrari. You want capability that you'll never use just to know that it's there, and Omega gives you more for your money. Moreover, the watch features a helium release valve, which, like the display caseback, may not be practical in the strictest sense. If you're in a diving bell, if you do ultra deep submergence and you need to decompress, it's there if you need it, but for the most part it looks cool, it adds value, and it's a great conversation starter among watch fans. The other thing that's worth noting here, and this is far more practical on a going basis day to day, is the ceramic bezel. You can use this, just line it up with the minute hand right there. You can use it to time intervals of up to 1 hour, so it's kind of like having a mini built-in chronograph. But it's also important because it's ceramic. Now in 2011, Omega launched this generation of Planet Ocean with the ceramic bezel, and what that brings to the table is scratch and scuff resistance that's the equal of a sapphire crystal. So if you're familiar with modern luxury watches having their crystals last forever, but their bezels become scratched and scuffed and somewhat unsightly over time, maybe some vintage guys are into that look, but I find that most people who lay out money for a luxury watch want their watch to look as new as possible for as long as possible, and that's what ceramic gives you. So Omega really scored by combining the latest style with the latest bezel materials and their latest movement. Again, the watch is a chronometer. In addition to being coaxial, the chronometer status at Omega means a little bit more than it does in general, because while COSC is no more than -4 seconds of deviation plus 6 seconds of deviation per 24 hours. Omega then takes the watches back to its facility after getting the certification, and it actually ensures that the watch will not lose any more than 1 second and will not gain any more than 5 seconds. So that's their internal standard for post-COSC movements. So Omega actually improves on the chronometer status. It's there if you'd like it, but they will actually make sure that the final watch as it comes to market, as it reaches your hand, is better than COSC. And remember, COSC only tests the bare movements. Omega, in their final QC, tests the whole watch. Now the watch is gorgeous. 45.5, wears beautifully, has a great bracelet that is beautifully brushed, 3-link design, very hardy, very tough, doesn't have much play in it, but also it's not a hair grabber. On the wrist, it's very supple, very silky, has nice polished shoulders, so while it's brushed on the center, it's polished on its flanks to match the case, and it's a nice little detail right there. Omega's really thoughtful in the way they design their straps and clasps, and while Rolex has really upped its game with the new Oyster clasp with a little flip-lock design that releases it quickly with a snap and a snick, I still like the old Omega trigger design. So you see the trigger right here gives you the security of double depression, so if you do want to pop the thing open, you squeeze, and then when you close it, you have that security of knowing that if you accidentally flip it, snick it, snap it, it's not going to open. You have to positively depress both to pop it open, and the Omega dive clasp, I feel, is still a fantastic piece of work. The whole thing is milled, so it feels very solid, but this dive clasp allows you to extend the watch for use over a wetsuit, a dry suit, or if you're in cold climates, a winter coat. Just a fantastic piece. Feels great, looks great, and in my opinion, this is the best overall package, bracelet, clasp, and extension on the market, although Rolex is closing and gaining. The bottom line is that you really can't go wrong with a Rolex or an Omega in the dive category. Omega just gives you that much more innovation and content at this point. There's more experimental technology making its way to the proven stage through the Omega lineups. You're getting everything from coaxial escapements to twin barrels in parallel to silicon technology in the movement, and of course the combination of the helium escape valve and the deep dive in the standard dive reference. You don't have to upgrade to a Sea-Dweller, for instance. Standard Seamaster line, Planet Ocean line, you're getting all this in one attractive, feature-rich, high-value package. It's a great everyday watch, it's a fantastic active lifestyle watch, and yet still sober enough that it can go well with a suit, even black tie. So check out this Planet Ocean, Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean, 45.5 millimeters, 600-meter rating, latest reference on watchyouwant.com with full boxes and papers. I'm confident that if, like EAL15, you're into Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean dive watches, you just may find the watch you want.